Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Pole Star. And before I get into describing this card, if you'd like a personal reading, check out the link down below in the description box for the stand store, and go ahead and sign up and we'll get you all taken care of. So the Pole Star, when this came up for me this morning, my first thought was the universe has got your back. And with everything that we've been talking about with finances and relationships and all these court cards that are down here, doesn't matter what decision you make, okay? Whether it's for a new relationship, staying in a relationship, whether it's, playing with your financial stability or not playing with your financial stability, right? Coming up with that creative idea or staying put, right? The universe knows what's going to happen, okay? Spirit knows what's going to happen before you do. And with that being said, doesn't make a difference what decision you make. You can listen to all these court cards, give you all this advice moving forward, right? And some of it's relevant with what you want to do. Maybe that, they're dropping seeds. They're touching your emotions. They're looking at your security, stability. They're in that communication space for you. When it's all said and done, the power of the universe is what's at work here. Okay, and only we can go ahead and stay in that universal spirit, stay in that higher power, and understand that whatever change is coming, it's going to have a change on the relationship. It's going to have a change on my finances. It's going to have a change, in my dedication, right? It's going to have that change in my passion, right? With what's moving forward. And you have to look at those changes in those areas of your life that allow you to grow in your spiritual hope, your spiritual enlightenment, your spiritual path, right? If it's the finances that are keeping you down, and I watched another reader here the other day, and they were talking about we put so much value on this on our finances, okay, and we have to continue to work, we have to continue to do this, we have to continue to do this, so we can get by, and money makes the world go around, all right. And, don't get me wrong, I watch the stock market just like everybody else does. I look at my bank account, as much as anybody else does. All right? I'm out there working so I can keep moving forward. Right? Because that's what's keeping things going in my world. It's probably keeping things going in your world too. So, having that job is necessary. Having that even keel balance that I was talking about in the emotions, yesterday with that Page of Vessels and, the Knight of Vessels and the Page of Vessels, having that even balance of not showing all your cards at one time. It's important because, when the universe is out there, they're going to put those tests and trials and tribulations in your way to see if you can get over that hump. But if you stay even keel in your emotions, all right, not too high, not too low, all right, this too shall pass. You don't have to worry about the finances, taking off. If you're watching the stock market and it did good today, it may do bad tomorrow. It may lose everything it gained today. But at the same time, your account is growing. That's what's important, right? Your bank account is growing when you put money into it. And one of the things I always talk about with the finances, if you stop, going to Starbucks one day a week and put that money into a jar, right? At the end of the year, you're going to be able to go on a nice vacation, right? There may be $500 in there. There may be $5,000 in there. Whatever it is, okay, you're saving up for that dream that you want to happen, right? So, with this card, as you're walking through the Wildwood Forest, and I used to say that he had a light, and he doesn't have a light, or they don't have a light as they're walking through there. This is just showing, a person, the wanderer walking on the path and coming out through a break in the trees. And he looks up, and what does he see? He sees the stars. He sees, the magnitude of where they're at in his life. So take a step back and look at what's going on in your life, right? And think about the universe. And that's the macrocosm of the universe, right? I mean, you look at the planetary system, you know, from Pluto all the way into the sun, right? And then you look at the galaxies beyond that. We are just a small piece of that. But yet, we walk around here like we're the kings. We're the queens, you know, of our neighborhood, right? Our macrocosm is what's going on in our lives, right? We're not looking at the micro piece of it, right? But when you take a step back and you can look at that and say, okay, I'm the macrocosm of my family unit, but in my community, I'm really a microcosm of it. At my workstation, I'm a microcosm of what's going on there, right? In my state, in my country, you know, and then you start pulling it out, and it's like, man, all the troubles that are going on in the world, all this conflict, and look at me. I'm worried about just this little thing, and there are people out there suffering. Their macrocosm in the world is trying to survive. You've got that down, so be grateful. Be grateful for the food that you're able to bring in on the table, the water, right? The opportunity, you know, to drive freely wherever you want, you know, in the country, you know. So, you know, when you look at it from a small standpoint, be grateful for what you have. And, you know, when you're out there doing your meditations, put that bubble around your community, put that bubble around your state, put that bubble around, you know, your country, put that bubble around the world for peace and joy and harmony to come about. Because that's the macrocosm healing that's going on out there. And the pole star kind of symbolizes, you know, that healing law, that spiritual knowledge. Okay? It reminds us of the greater power that the universe has. Okay, because, you know, in a blink, this great planet that we're on was made billions of years ago. And, you know, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but somewhere down the line, out of our lifetime, blink, it's going to go. You know, and we're just going to become, you know, part of the dust that's out there. We're all part of that universal dust. All right? The spiritual universe that's out there keeps us moving. All right? Keeps us connected with nature, keeps us connected with who we are. So, you know, whenever you're feeling down, remember that whatever was used, you know, to fuel that pole star, it was also used to form you, right? So, you know, that's today's message out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the pole star. Just know that you're on the right path. The universe has got your back. That's the message coming across, okay? And with that, I've got your back, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people have got your back with all these court cards that are laying down here. All the questions that they're asking, right? What you're standing up for, where do you need to express things sensitively, you know, everything that's out there. Just know you're going to, you know, your stability is going to be protected. You're going to be secure, okay? Your emotions are going to be in check, and you're going to keep moving on when this change happens. And change will happen. That's one thing that's constant in this world, is change. Not every day is going to be the same. So that's today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the pole star. If you like what you're seeing, you know, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. Again, check out that stand store down below if you don't want a reading. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, stay safe, and enjoy the upcoming change.